Hi, Rashonda here. We are finishing up. Oh, what chapter is this? Chapter 17? Yes, chapter 17 of Hagar's Daughter by Pauline Hopkins because I got nipped in the end there because my internet went out. Praying that the internet does not go out this time. Excuse me, I've got like a tickle in my throat. Okay, so Sumner was talking about Aurelia and how you can't be a man and only be her friend. And Um, he says, I believe that it is not in her to care enough for anyone to kick over the advantages of respectability for his sake, but she'll sail close to the wind. West laughed bitterly. You speak from experience, I suppose. The city is ringing with your broken engagement and its cause. Sumner stood silent. The blow was a keen one because the wound was so recent. Oh, come, fellows, drop it, hastily exclaimed Badger. What do we care for Miss Madison except as any man admires a handsome woman? She'll bowl you over, Carrie, my son. She's using you just now to suit her own purposes. You're young yet, he continued affectionately. But when you've had 2 or 3 seasons of this sort of thing, you'll hold your own with the deepest of them. Yes, West, rejoined Sumner, who had regained his self-possession. There are scores of just such women in the world. I will own that once I thought Aurelia Madison divine, but shrugging his shoulders, I have changed my opinion, and I am not sorry to have escaped from her toils. If you enjoy her society, continue to do so, but be careful. Don't let her snare you. You ought to do some of your preaching to old Bowen, dogged if he ain't gone on her worse than I am. Anyway, it looks so. He's there every night. What? Exclaimed Sumner. Let up, West, why don't you? Said Will Badger, giving him a meaningful look. It's my idea, Cuthbert, that Senator Bowen is putting money into the mine. That's what I think is the attraction. I intended to speak to you about it some days ago. Sumner made no reply, and in a few moments the trio left the house. Washington society, with its proneness to overlook small trespasses, was beginning to talk about the Madisons. Some declared the beautiful daughter but a bait to snare the unwary, and openly voted the major shady. Mm. A good deal of money changed hands in the salon of the unpretentious house on New York Avenue. It was whispered also that the mine was a gigantic swindle. As yet, these reports were but floating rumors. No one had made open complaint. Excuse me. So people are flocking to the Madisons, and in part because they're wondering if all the rumors are true. Are they shady? Is she a gold digger? And interesting that they think she's a gold digger and her dad owns a mine. Okay, so I'll continue. Meanwhile, the evenings were gay in the drawing room where Aurelia smiled and flirted with the greatest intellects of the great republic. There was an excellent buffet, obsequious servants, the soft shuffle of cards, and in the billiard room at the rear of the house, a chosen few rattled dice or gave themselves up to the fascination of a rouge et noir. Gave themselves up to the fascinations of rouge et noir. It's French. Um, it means red and black, so I guess it means roulette. Rouge, red, a, and noir, black. And I do not know French. Real, I took a year of it and didn't like it, but I do know that means red and black. Excuse me. So I am assuming that means roulette. It was past 11 when the servant opened the door of Major Madison's salon and the three friends entered. Wow, past 11. I am in bed. And if I'm not in bed, I'm sad about it. Like I am not just getting somewhere. Oh, like maybe when I was 20, maybe. But they kept all kinds of weird hours back then. Like parties wouldn't start till 9, you wouldn't get dinner till 11. People are dancing at 2 in the morning. I think like they just did they not have work they had to get to in the morning? I've never understood that. All right, it was past 11 when the servant opened the door of Major Madison's salon and the three friends entered. Sumner found himself in a fair-sized and well-furnished room containing a semi-grand piano. It was the one he had entered on his formal visit. Aurelia was the only woman present. The major came forward from a group near the fireplace to receive them. So pleased to see you, he said, shaking hands in his cordial fashion. Aurelia, my dear, here's Mr. Sumner. West was already standing by the beauty's chair, and Badger had passed on to a group of men in another part of the room. I'm intrigued that she is the only woman in the room. I mean, way to be the most noticeable person there, but like she doesn't have, and not that she can't have male friends, but like she doesn't have friends she's hanging with. Does Jewel not come to these parties and be with her friend? Like, I'm kind of sad for her. Aurelia was exquisitely dressed in her favorite colors, cream and terracotta, combined in a wonderful gown. Well, Mr. Sumner, have you honored us at last? She queried as she laid her hand lightly in his. Then, as her father moved away, she said with a bitter smile, the fault was not mine. I would have died rather than Jewel should have heard my foolish words. Oh, that's not at all true. She totally orchestrated it so Jewel would hear those words. Her manner, more than her words, broke down all Sumner's lingering suspicions, and he warmed perceptibly toward her. Dude, she was but a girl. Dude, she was but a girl, impassioned, impressionable. What right had he to accuse her of perfidy? Someone came up to them and interrupted her. Yes, she would give them music. She went to the piano and Sumner followed her. She played popular selections from the latest opera bouffe, Bouffe, and then a Morsian in a style that satisfied the most critical taste. All right, two words I do not know in the same sentence. Morsian, Morcean. I mean, it's clear to me that those are types of musical numbers, but I wish I understood them more. But let's go back. She was but a girl. I don't like it when grown women are called girls. But this, she was but a girl. Oh, she can't have responsibility for her own actions. She's but a girl. She can't have responsibility for the consequences of her actions. She's but a girl. I mean, and clearly she's playing to that. She understands that that's what her place is in society, and she's playing that perfectly. But it still frustrates me. All right, Senator Bowen had just entered the house and paused for the music to cease before speaking to Miss Madison. Then he went up to her, passing Sumner with a cold nod. Presently Major Madison and he disappeared, and Sumner felt they had gone to the card room. He wandered about for a while, seeing enough to alarm him at the ascendancy Major Madison had evidently gained over the senator. As he stood at the door of the room, watching the party where Senator Bowen sat staking large sums of rouge et noir and losing at every turn of the wheel, yes, roulette, a wheel, ha ha, high five us. He felt dejected at his own helplessness. Gaming was Senator Bowen's only vice, a legacy from the old days when as mate he played every night for weeks as the cotton steamer made her trips up and down the river highways in the antebellum days. Sumner determined to rescue the honest old man from the toils of these sharpers. Just then, Aurelia came up to him and touched his arm. Of course it was just then. I wish to speak with you, Bert. Come with me. He gave her his arm and they went to the vacant library. Really, he's going to be alone with her again? Really? 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 Come on, Cuthbert Sumner. Come on now. He gave her his arm and they went to the vacant library. As they passed from view, one man standing back of Senator Bowen's chair watching the game said to another, Sumner rich? Very. It would be a fine thing for Miss Madison to catch him in the rebound. He seems fascinated. Indeed it would. And why not? She is of good blood and he does not need money. Ah, no, only beauty and love. She is worthy of a coronet. So, like that whole exchange was between two people that we don't know who they are, and there were no speaker tags. I'm going to get over this at some point, or maybe I won't. The soft light of tender sympathy was on Aurelia's face. Sumner clasped both her hands in his and begged her to tell him all she knew of Jewel. That is why I brought you here, was her serious reply. I mean to undo this tangled web which I have unwittingly woven. Is she well? Does she hate me? Dare I go to her? He asked with passionate earnestness. Disengaging one of her hands, Aurelia laid it on his shoulder while she answered in soothing tones. Jewel is quite well, Bert dear, but she is allowing General Benson to monopolize her attention. In fact, I sometimes fear that the mischief is beyond repair and that she is pledged to him. But I am sure she loves you still. Trust a woman's intuitive powers. She cannot deceive me. Okay, so she's just lying all the time about all the things, and then trust a woman's intuitive powers. She cannot deceive me. Now, I don't know that Jewel is great at the art of deception, but she's not trying, at least that I'm aware. She's not trying to deceive Aurelia or anybody else. Lying really bothers me. It makes for an interesting story, though. Whatever she has done has been in a spirit of pique which needs but your presence to overcome. We will save her if it is not too late. Oh, so now there is an alliance. We will save her. The alliance of Sumner and Aurelia will save Jewel from Benson. Oh, the ruses that are afoot. Bless you for those words, he said. Your sympathy is very sweet to me. Be patient and leave it all to me. I will bring you together again. I bet she will. And it'll be in the middle of her trying to seduce Sumner. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Not to, sorry. You have, be patient, leave it all to me. No, don't leave it all to her. You have filled my mind with forebodings, he said dejectedly. I fear it is too late. Not too late, Bert. Leave me the hope at least of redeeming myself in the eyes of Jewel. I have arranged for a meeting between you on Tuesday. On that day, the senator and Mrs. Bowen go to the president's reception. Jewel has a cold and will not be able to accompany them. She expects me to spend the evening with her. I waive my engagement in your favor, Bert. See that you improve your opportunity. Tears filled her eyes, her voice broke. She was pale with emotion. She was proud of the intense feeling she displayed. She's like, what a good actor I am. She was proud of the intense feeling she displayed and felt that she was acting her part splendidly. For a moment, Sumner was speechless. Then he kissed her hand and said in a broken voice as he turned to go, God bless you, Aurelia. There's a grand pause here, so I took a breath. At 4 a.m., General Benson, Major Madison, and Aurelia stood alone in the deserted drawing room. The major waved in triumph 2 checks for large amounts bearing Senator Bowen's signature. That's all right, Madison, but it is slow work. Too slow for me. How are you getting on, Aurelia? She looked at him with an evil smile on her face that destroyed all its marvelous beauty. I have told Cuthbert Sumner to call on Jewel Tuesday evening. The senator and his wife will be out, the girl alone. I think, General, you can do the rest and settle the matter once for all. By Jove, Aurelia, I will convince him of my triumph against all odds. You've earned your husband and your million. Woo, and that's the actual end of chapter 17. My. The plot thickens. Until next time.